Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we finally got confirmation from FFG on just what is going to be available at Gen Con for the early order stuff, the early buy stuff, the stuff you can get before everybody else. Now, there had been rumors that they might not do any early releases, especially since the Superstar Destroyer for Armada was announced to come out at Gen Con, but also come out everywhere else the day after the opening day of Gen Con. So it seemed like that was just a one-day early release and effectively a simultaneous worldwide release. And the only early release that came from that was at San Diego Comic-Con. That's how I got mine, and that's how all of that happened. But primarily, it seemed like it's being a simultaneous release with Gen Con for the Superstar Destroyer. Now, for Armada, it had been speculated that Rebellion in the Rim might be available by the time of Gen Con. However, not confirmed, especially during the Armada livestream. They did confirm, though, today that Rebellion in the Rim will be available at Gen Con. So definitely stay tuned. I will be trying to get a video review of that done as soon as I can. There's a whole lot going on at Gen Con, though, so some things may have to wait a couple of days until after I get back to actually do a quality review. Speaking of quality reviews, Legion Clone Wars is also confirmed to be coming out. So Legion Clone Wars will be available early release at Gen Con. They have not confirmed exactly when it'll be globally available, but I would imagine not that long. Usually things that come out at Gen Con tends to be available within a month of when they come out at Gen Con. So probably will not be very, very long. Now, you are also going to be getting your Dewbacks and your Scarif Troopers are also going to be early release at Gen Con. Tauntauns and your Rebel Veterans are shipping now, actually, so you should be able to get those the same day at Gen Con launches. I believe they're actually coming out this Friday. I already have a shipping notice. Mine are going to be arriving. They may actually not arrive, though, until after I leave for Gen Con. But that's okay. I only ordered one of each because I'll probably want to run multiples, so I may also pick up an extra copy while I'm at Gen Con. But as far as a lot of those type of reviews, especially with the Legion Clone Wars core set, while I will try to do an early unboxing and quick look at it, I'm not really going to be able to build the models and do all of that. So that one's going to come in multiple parts. So definitely stay tuned. Click that subscribe button if you do want to see what else comes out at Gen Con. So we're going to be getting a lot of that. Now, we do know at the in-flight report, they've said they're going to be previewing the 2 new ships that are coming from Armada. So if you're an Armada player, definitely stay tuned for that. We also know X-Wing's next wave, Wave 6, I mistakenly said 7 in another video. Wave 6 is going to be previewed at the in-flight brief as well, so we're going to get a first look at that. We also expect, of course, there's going to be some Legion stuff with all of this Legion stuff that's coming out. There's going to be a lot of Clone Wars stuff I think that they want to talk about, and maybe even more stuff for the existing factions. We know that Luke and Vader were recently spoiled on the FFG's website, so now we know that there's another Luke and Vader. It would be really nice if those were also available, but those will not be, at least as of their reports today. They did say and more with ... and there's some Arkham and some L5R and other early stuff as well. So if you play a lot of those other FFG games, you're going to have something available for you as well. Now, there may be more stuff that's available. It has happened in the past where they will sometimes announce something and it was suddenly available to buy right now. I believe the L5R role-playing game was announced and also available last year at about the same time. I think this is the very next day. I think the year before that, it was Twilight Imperium 4th Edition, which was announced and instantly available. So that's very interesting stuff. I would love for there to be an expansion for Twilight Imperium to possibly be announced and somehow instantly available, because I would pick that up on the spot. Twilight Imperium is one of my favorite board games. Speaking of other favorite board games, Rebellion. I don't think they'll do anything else for Rebellion, but if they do, oh my gosh, I'll be right on there with it. Outer Rim is ripe for expansions. I would love to see an expansion for Outer Rim. Although Outer Rim hasn't been out for very long, I feel like it's a game that desperately needs an expansion to really, really shine to the potential that it could hit. And I also would love if it was like a deluxe expansion that also had minis instead of the cardboard standees. That would go really, really far in my book. Would love to see that. Now, other games, there's things that we kind of are hoping to see, things that we expect to see. I'm expecting to see a lot of Armada stuff, specifically, these 2 new ships, or maybe there's more than 2 new ships. We don't even know if there's any new squadrons coming along with those ships. They hadn't said anything about that. I'm not getting my hopes up for that. I'm also really excited to look at Rebellion in the Rim and see everything that's in there. So it's going to be really cool just to look at the cards that are coming with that, let alone all of the extra stuff that you can do with the campaign. I'm kind of more interested in the cards than the campaign, but we can probably do both. Might even use the new AI system to run a solo campaign and see how that works. That would kind of be a little fudgy, but it might be something fun to do from time to time. Now, for Legion, I am excited because Sam Witwer just did a video with Fantasy Flight today. So if you haven't seen that already, check out, like Fantasy Flight posted a video. I retweeted it on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you can check the link in the description below. But they also shared it on Facebook for their Fantasy Flight Facebook. It was a really cool little video of Sam Witwer, who did a tour of Fantasy Flight games. They had showed some highlights of this back at Star Wars Celebration. So I believe the video he did with them was a while back. It was probably, earlier in the year. And it's really cool because he is like hinting and asking questions. And there were a couple of cleverly placed cuts where I think he asked about something they weren't allowed to talk about yet. But at the end, they kind of give him, this really nice art piece of Maul. And it definitely looks like Maul from Rebels, or maybe even like he's got that saber that he had in Rebels. So it looks like definitely a in between Rebels and Solo era timeline. Well, no, in between Rebels and Solo era timeline Maul. So it'd be I wonder if that's like a hint on the fact that maybe we're going to see Maul pretty soon. But I'm more interested in seeing Darth Maul, like Episode 1 Maul doing the acrobatics. I want that kind of pose. More so than I want Old Man Maul, who's like walking with a cane. I really don't want Old Man Maul as much, but I'll take any Maul I can get. Any Sam Witwer I can get on my tabletop, I'm anxious for. Also, he kind of hinted, he did drop a little bit of like, hey, show me some Star Killer. And of course, they didn't respond to that. But it kind of makes me wonder if, the closer a relationship Sam Witwer has with Fantasy Flight games, maybe the chances of us actually getting Star Killer are a little closer than we think. We know they used to have Juno Eclipse in X-Wing, right? We know that Juno used to be there, then got pulled out when they made the transition over to 2.0. So that is pretty interesting. Also, if you are a patron on Patreon, if you'll check the patron-specific Discords, I'm putting together a list of questions for the in-flight brief. So if you have any specific questions that you want to be asked, now I'm probably not going to get a chance to ask a lot of questions. I may only get the chance to ask a single question. But anyway, if you want to talk about that as well, that's a good place to go. But Gen Con's just a few days away, so definitely stay tuned. This is pretty cool, and I'm hopefully going to be getting a lot of stuff to be unboxing and checking out for you. Hopefully a lot of cool news. I will be trying to meet with some other game companies as well, and we'll get a look at stuff. It's not just all going to be Fantasy Flight games. Hopefully there'll be some new stuff from Mythic, maybe from Awaken Realms, from CMON, or I think they're called Kaman now. Maybe WizKids, Privateer Press, Games Workshop even, who knows? I'm going to try and take a look at everything. But I'm also working, so I can't do quite as much. Maybe one of these years I won't have to work, and I'll just be able to do all this stuff full time. Wouldn't that be something? But I need you guys' help for that. I need all the subscribers in the world, so tell your friends. I don't really need all the subscribers in the world. I wouldn't mind like an extra 100,000. That'd be pretty cool. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. I want to thank you so much, and I'm really, really excited. If you can't tell, I'm about to go on vacation just to go to work. Another job, because that's all I do is work. I can't remember the last time I took a vacation day and just did nothing and like sat around the pool. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.